May I request Mr. Anand Pujari, Education Account Manager, Autodesk, to come on stage and give his presentation. It will be followed by a presentation by Mr. Rajendra Singh from Conclave, and then we'll have a panel discussion on designing digital infrastructure and outlining roadmap for new education model. I request Mr. Anand Pujari, Education Account Manager, Autodesk, to come on stage and give his presentation. A huge round of applause for him, please.
Crack open the window.
Oh, that's better.
All right. I think because of the tight schedule that I have to I have to skip your breaks and then continue my presentation. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anand Pujari and I'm an education manager with Autodesk. So I'm going to talk about, I have a couple of slides to run through. So basically covering the topic on upskilling and reskilling the next gen engineers and designers. I mean, we have seen the video that I just showed you is what is all about Autodesk catering to so many industries. We'll go through that, but basically this is the topic that I'm going to cover so that it aligns with respect to the educational policies that are being talked about by all the dignitaries here, and I'm going to touch base upon what we are doing with respect to the education community. I'm going to start with some of the statistics that are being produced through certain surveys. We all know that right now we have a global population of about 7.5 billion around us, and by 2050 this population would grow up to 10 billion. So we have a huge middle class population that is going to grow up by over a couple of years now. And then when this population grows up, I mean, the population in the cities would be occupied more, and then this growing population would need more space, more infrastructure, more roadways and highways to cover up with. So when I said more is needed, approximately a value of 372,000 of goods worth, be it infrastructure, be it households, be it consumer products, that is need to be catered to this growing population. Now, as I mentioned, more is definitely inevitable. So more in terms of roadways, highways, infrastructures, buildings, starting from your refrigerator to cell phone, everything is really needed. The transportation system has to be very equipped to handle this growing population. I mean, as I said, the infrastructure or the living space in the urban cities has to be managed very efficiently with the growing population. One of the things that is definitely about is to have a better control on the waste management as well. We all know that we all have come across building our houses, right? And we know that when we construct these houses, how much of wastage has been happened with respect to this. There is estimated that when you build any house, when you construct anything, 30% of wastage happens in the construction industry. And having said that, it is not about once the construction industry itself, the wastage happens even in the manufacturing industry. I mean, how many of you know that 70% of the equipments or the products that have been developed for handling the manufacturing industry still rise, the wastage happens sits in the shelf itself. They are not even goes to the market. So that is the kind of wastage is happening. Now this is what we need to have a better. Not only that wastage with respect to the equipments, but we also have a very challenging environment of the retiring, the aging force. I mean, nearly 4 out of the 10 companies will have this skill gap, will have this retiring force that really needs a demand of this equipped skills within our education community or within our students. So less is definitely a reality. I mean, there will be a huge chunk of less space in the urban cities where we'll have to manage, and then there will be less in terms of our exhaustible resources that we need to cover on. So more is definitely a real needed. That's a reality, that we need to come up with more products, more space, more buildings, more houses, more roadways, and with less impact on our environment, with less impact on our society. So that is what is all about. And these all challenges leads us to an opportunity for us to handle the situation, an opportunity to help equip our designers, engineers to come up with innovative products, innovative ways of handling things. So it is an opportunity for us to do better, okay, with the available resources, with the available skill sets. We have to come up with things that are really intuitive, things that are really interacting with the user base, things that really cater to the needs of the industry or cater to the needs of the consumer, basically. So that's the things and we have to come up with having different ways. A traditional way of making things has to be renovated. We'll have to come up with new ways of making things. That's what you are seeing in the construction industry that these days. We are not building on sites. We are not building on the location right now. We are prefabricating things. Like construction industry has become like a manufacturing industry. So we are making things prefabricated and getting them assembled. And so the make is changing, and that's where we have to help our education system to have those skill sets, to have those advanced skill sets which will help them to have be ready for the industries. So that is what. This is the video that I showed you is nothing but about Autodesk. Autodesk is a pioneer in the design and make industry. We are catering to the 4 different industry sectors, that is manufacturing and construction, as well as building and construction, roadways, highways, construction industry, as well as we are pioneer in the media and entertainment industry as well. I mean, all our technologies are widely used across all these 4 industry segments. I'll move a little bit on the statistics from point of view, and then let's understand like where we are working with respect to the skilling and upskilling things. So if you define, I mean, there's many people define the future of work in different terms. Here are some of the phrases and words that are being listed, but I would like to categorize these into 2 buckets. One is the technology, another one is the labor market. I mean, these are the 2 driving forces which really encompasses about the robotics, about the automation, about the upskilling and reskilling, and about the workforce development. So in actual, if you have to define the future of work, it is nothing but the effective utilization of the technology, having the technology equipped and handled to the students or the education community or the industries, and we have a huge human capital power as well, which is nothing but the labor market. So collaboratively between these 2, and integration between these 2 will help us to define the future of work. Now, how are we catering this one? There is a slight change. The salient features about these 2 driving forces I would like to categorize. One is the automation coming into the market. The newer job roles are coming. So for the newer job roles, we need to have a new set of skill sets. Now, traditionally, and the labor market is also categorized or segmented into 2 things. One is a skilled labor, right? A skilled job, or high-skilled labor or high-skilled jobs. So these are the two segments. And if you have to meet these two industries, these salient features, then we need to equip our newer generations, or the education system has to be slightly changed to meet the needs. So we are helping our student community, but right now we are in a situation where still the yesteryears, the skills that we are trying to impart to our students is the yesteryears, but the industries like GE or Airbus or GM are trying to get skill sets which are more advanced level, which is the need of the hour. So we need to align our curriculum or align ourselves towards this new set of skill sets. Dipankar talked about this in a general way, but with a slide I'm trying to help you. As I mentioned, 4 out of the 10 industries are not able to get the right talent that they are looking for. Though they are hiring for the current job skills, but what we are producing is not meeting to their needs. So if you look at our the way that has been changed in the past 25 years, be it our education system or the engineering curriculum, is not up to the extent that the industry is looking for. So if you look at on my left side, what we have is a very good curriculum, okay, educational curriculum that can meet, that is good, but that is not meeting the needs of the industry, that is onto my right side. So technology, the advancements like generative design or the system engineering or the design for manufacturing, such are the skill sets that the industry is looking among our students community, so that they are equipped to handle things appropriately. So my intention or my way of telling to this slides is that our education system has to be changed a little bit. We should map the curriculum in such a way as bring in the skill sets that are required by the industry to our student community, so that they are ready for the newer job roles. So how do we do about that curriculum change? Autodesk has worked with its commercial customers and have a viewpoint to address here about the evolving curriculum system. So one of the biggest factors is the design for manufacturing. So the manufacturing industry really needs the skill set with respect to not only from a design perspective, also the students or the community has to also understand from a make perspective. So they should understand what is the cost involved, what are the materials I need to apply, how I need to get product faster to the market. So those are the skill sets, those are the things that they need to be understand. I mean, to create designs that balance performance, manufacturability, and the product life cycle as well of the cost. Not only that, we also have to help the students understand that they are not only the sole problem solvers. Along with that, they have to augment the technology as well. They have to augment technologies like AI, which are equipped like, for in terms of design and aspects, generative design is the technology that is embedded with AI. So they have to augment such technology into their problem solving arena. So that is what is, so we need to bring such technologies under their table, so that they help equip themselves to learn the newer technologies. And system thinking and system engineering is a requirement today, and it is not just a good way to have it kind of a thing, because we need to have the multidisciplinary culture. Most of the delegate speakers talked about the multidisciplinary things among ourselves, like, yes, as an engineer, we should be equipped to handle any situation that comes under our banner. So this is where we need to equip them to have multidisciplinary, bring in the electronics guys, bring the mechanical guys, bring the electrical guys under one banner. That's where any product that comes to the market needs to have all these kinds of requirements among them. So our system, our technology will help them to have those skill sets, and with the education collaboration, we would like to equip them with respect to those technologies. Academic degrees are very good. That is a part of our things for a career development, everything. But additionally, what an educator or what students needs for them to be differentiator in this market skill. I mean, in this growing market sector. So they need to equip with a different kinds of skill set. For that, they need to have the personalized goal set. They need to have a personalized certifications for them. They need to have role-based credentials or certifications for them, so that they can be better fit to the needs of the industry. So that is what we need to come up with, a different setup. Autodesk is trying to help all the academicians to develop those kind of curriculum which can meet the industry 4.0. why is Autodesk investing in upskilling and reskilling? So definitely, we would like to help our customers navigate through the challenges that are coming us. We saw the challenges with the growing populations, right? And that is an opportunity for us, and we need to meet the challenges or the skill sets that are required by the growing automation in the industry. So that is where Autodesk is trying to help. We would like to provide foresight with the technology, the training and the tools that will help prepare the student community for the next skill sets that are required by the industry. I mean, with the growing, rapidly changing skills that are required by the industry as well. Right? And we would like to become the trusted partners among our customers and help them to thrive through the technology, and as well as help them grow their business opportunities as well and transform their business approach. How are we doing this one? So we are basically helping our education community by providing Autodesk technology absolutely free through our Autodesk Education Community Portal. Autodesk 10 years back itself, 10 plus years back itself, Autodesk decided that we will not sell it to the education community. Anybody comes under the AICT norms or MHRD norms and educational institutes, we are offering free, I mean absolutely free. Legally, it's absolutely free for the institutes. Educators, student community can have the legal licenses on their machines, on their labs and everything. So that is one way. We have tons of our content available, which is mapped to the education syllabus and curriculum, which can be helpful for the educators to help use them in their classroom works. Use this library content that is developed by Autodesk, meeting to the industry needs, so that can meet to their classwork needs as well. Additionally, we do lots of faculty development programs. We do the train-the-trainer programs. We do boot camps. We help them, equip them with our technology well in advance, so that they become our advocacies at the education level, so that they can be the front goers to train the students and make them aware what's the industry needed about. And as I mentioned, we are also working on the role-based credentials, where we are trying to make the specialization certifications for them, so that they are being really differentiated, whether I'm a generative design guy, I'm a sheet metal guy, or I'm a designer, I'm a manufacturer kind of a thing. So that kinds of credentials that we are trying to bring in to the education. We talked about how the trends are being changing, what is the need of the hour, but I'll just run through a couple of things like slides where we would like to highlight how our academicians are using our technology and coming with different innovative products. I would like to highlight some of the student programs, because at the end of the day, these are our main customers from an education point of view, because these students, if they understand the technology, if they understand the requirement better, well in advance, before they are being ready for the industry to be equipped or to be handled by the industries as well. So here is a simple project, by one of the institutes, the Anand Sagar College in Bangalore. What we have seen, this is nothing but our quadcopter chassis. We have seen the quadcopter these days being widely used in many areas, being in surveys or being in functions, everything. Quadcopter is being used. So this is a quadcopter chassis, a 4-bar mechanism normally, but adopting a technology called as, which is an AI, machine learning technology. You see that there's a different variation of that product. So what does it really means is that right now, whatever design that we do is a passive design, which is like in our minds, and computers are what outputs is just an output for us, where everything I'm just throwing my ideas to them and everything I'm just seeing in output. But here, with AI coming into picture, we are bringing technologies like generative design, which will help us to really challenge our design. More of the designers would spend time in designing than the modeling. So here, when we throw certain challenges to the machine and then say that, hey, I provide these conditions, let me give those variations. So here you will see that it throws away different variations to you, and among those variations, you would be able to take one of the one where that better suits to your needs. So that's the change, that's kinds of technology that we bring. And here is the actual product that we saw, digital one, and this is actual product which has been showcased, which has been flown in many of the events, such events like this, where Autodesk also drive events like Autodesk University and all those things. So here is another. I talked about the multidisciplinary, and a student who is electronic based, have no clue about design, and how does he or she handles such kind of things. What you see on my left side is a design from an electronics guy having no knowledge about the design at all, but he has won multiple competitions. So multidisciplinary thing, why we thought about why not bring in the mechanical guy, why not bring in the electronic guy and do some changes to his design. So what you see on my right side is an actual change. We adopted the newer technologies like generative design. We added the additive manufacturing to it because that is the talk of the town. Traditional manufacturing is still good, okay, the subtracting manufacturing, but additive manufacturing is really taking the leap and the lead in the market. So that is wherein this is the change, and this is the actual product, what you see from the PVC pipes to the transition from the PLC additive manufacturing kind of a thing. And here, not only that, industry also is doing a pilot program with us. IIT Madras, the master guys in masters, studying masters in IIT Madras have done a pilot study with LCA lower control arm. They are equipping, they are trying to use our technology, and what you see is a 26% reduction in the mass. If Fiat Chrysler can succeed in this pilot program, if it succeeds, you can imagine a car that manufacturer which has got 30,000 equipments or 30,000 parts in it, if they start applying the technology to them, what will be changed in this? And every industry is leaping towards what Dipankar mentioned about is the electrical vehicles. I mean, EV is the one thing that most of the industries, automotive industries are looking forward to this, and changes, technology changes of such things adopted by for such advanced technologies will be a great innovative things. That is what we are also working towards. Some of the works, this is a guy from an aeronautical department student who's really working, how he's adopting our technology and coming with different designs. You can see that this is one when we do up, I told him that why not you write to the railway departments or the metro rail departments about what you are really doing. So what I'm trying to showcase through these slides is basically that you bring in the technology to the students, you help them understand what is needed by the skills, what skills they need for them to be better in industry. You see wonders happening from these kids that they come up with really innovative ideas. So what Autodesk is really doing is we would like to inspire these younger generations, inspire this through our technology for them to have those skills, okay, and engage them in terms of our technologies. What about the multiple technologies catering to multiple industry segments that I mentioned, and we would like to prepare them. We'll have to have them equipped with those skill sets and prepare them for the industry ready. This was my last slide. I really thank APAC for giving us an opportunity, and I know it is time for, we have not taken a break, but I'm bridge between your break and this. So I kind of try to run through my slides, hoping I'm giving you certain information that what this really does to help students equip with respect to the skill, what industry is asking for, and how we are trying to cater both the education, we're being the bridge between the academy and the industry. So that's what I'm trying to highlight here. So thank you so much for patiently listening to me.
Thanks for that enlightening session. Basically acting as a bridge between industry and academia and connecting Industry 4.0 with Curriculum 4.0.